Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the man behind the counter, Duncan, and today we're going to talk about a new 4K physical media release. This came out a couple weeks ago, but I've been bogged down with work, so I've finally had a chance to view it. So I'll give you insights on the presentation of it, and I'll talk about the future of the James Bond franchise and where I think it should go. We're talking about No Time to Die. This was Daniel Craig's final outing in the role of James Bond, and it completes the story arc that began at Casino Royale. So it was a 5-film arc, and now it comes to its conclusion. It was kind of its own little thing. Like James Bond movies weren't really connected too much, but this one, Casino Royale kind of rebooted things and showed how James Bond got the 007 title, and it also, progressed his character. And Daniel Craig brought a new interpretation to the character. It was very brooding, kind of a troubled guy in a lot of ways, and a guy that fell into this job, and it kind of explored that. It was a very awesome take on the character. I like the Daniel Craig movies. Quantum of Solace was not the best one, but I still enjoy it from time to time. And No Time to Die, in my opinion, was one of the better ones. I think Casino Royale is going to always be the best to me because it was just so amazing. But this is a very worthy entry into the James Bond catalog. And so now I'm going to talk about the picture and the sound and all that. This 4K one, some 4K releases, some aren't as good as others, but this one is very good. The picture and the sound, the exotic locations, all the water and stuff, it looks amazing. So all the black levels are good. This is as good as, maybe not the best I've ever seen, but it's in the upper echelon of 4K discs I've seen. I think that's the best word. But yeah, one of the better 4K presentations. I still think Underworld's kind of my top one, but this one's very good. The sound is excellent, and the sound mix is good. So all the action and there's music, but it doesn't drown out the dialogue. So that's all really good. And now, see, this is the artwork. There were different versions of the artwork. Here's a slipcover. There's some different versions at different stores, stuff like that. And here are the discs. And now I'm going to go into the future of James Bond and where I think who should play the character and stuff like that. I've seen different, rumors and stuff, but I think to me would make the most sense and most people would be happy. It'd be a safer bet, but if no one would have a problem with it, would be Henry Cavill. He auditioned for the role against Daniel Craig, but he was so young at the time, and Daniel Craig was really the front runner, and he was a little older and more mature, and Henry Cavill was like 22 at the time, so it wasn't quite time. But now he's more mature, he's the perfect age for it, and I think he'd be awesome. And the fans would love it, and he wants to do it, so I really think that one really makes the most sense. I think if you really wanted to go for a sure bet, Henry Cavill would be the way to go. I've seen Tom Hardy, who I love Tom Hardy. I think he's done some great work, but James Bond, he's a little bit older, and unless you want to do like Timothy Dalton, make a couple films with him, I don't think that'd be the long-term solution. But I mean, it'd be fine. But Tom Hardy, I just don't know. But I mean, I'd certainly watch it. And there's been some other names mentioned. There was one other, I think his name's James Norton from some show called McMafia, which I've never watched, but I saw him interview, and he actually looked pretty cool. Like he could pull it off. And what I'd like to see them do with James Bond, because the Daniel Craig one was so serious, and James Bond was a little more troubled and kind of wounded and stuff from the job and the different things that had happened to him. I'd kind of like a throwback a little bit to like the more Roger Moore suave James Bond, where he loves his job and he loves the adventure and he does it with a smile on his face and a little quip and stuff. And I think because this one was so, deep and dark, I kind of would like to see, a lighter one. And maybe not an interconnected story arc this time. I loved the Casino Royale to No Time to Die one, but I'd rather it just be an individual adventure, and the James Bond formula, the exotic locations, the beautiful women, that kind of stuff. And so I would really like to see a lighter take on it, and kind of a, back to, the more Roger Moore era. but because that was my favorite one. That's the one I grew up with. All the James Bonds, I've loved them, but Roger Moore is my personal favorite. But anyway, that's all I have for today. Let me know in the comments who you think should play James Bond. What do you think they should do in the future? They're saying they're going to announce it this year. I think they're beginning preliminary discussions on who they want to bring into audition. And so let me know in the comments if you have anybody in mind or any of that. What do you think the future James Bond will be? Anyway, that's all I have for today. Have a happy new year. I hope Video Mania 2 continues to grow. I'm really enjoying doing this. So thanks for sticking with me. And I'm excited for the future this year. So take care till next time.